this is going to become the new norm. So buckle up, get ready, get excited about it, because Zoom is not going anywhere. People will keep doing this for years to come. So want to just thank you guys for your patience with that. And looks like we got another participant to jump on the call with us. So that is awesome. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I'm sure some more people will be finding the link and joining us and tuning in and jumping on board. So with that, without further ado, out of respect for everyone's time, we're going to definitely go ahead and kick things off here and get started. So as always, we always begin with a word of prayer. So if you guys wouldn't mind just bowing your heads with me for a moment of silence as we pray. Heavenly Father, we just thank you so much for this opportunity that you've given us. We thank you for this day that you've put before us. And we just thank you for what you're doing in our businesses and also what you are going to do through our businesses. Lord, I pray a blessing over every person, over every entrepreneur who is on this call tonight. I pray that you would bless their businesses indeed, that you would multiply their efforts. I thank you that you're sending them creativity, you're sending them ideas, you're sending them resources, you're sending them help, you're sending them whatever they need for their businesses in order for their businesses to grow and flourish and be successful and prosperous. And Lord, we just pray that you would continue to watch over us and our families, keep us healthy and safe. And we promise to give you all of the honor and the glory for it. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen. Amen. Thank you guys so much. So real quick, thank you so much for joining the Emixer today. This is our second time doing the Zoom on Emixer, doing the Emixer on Zoom, excuse me. And we are really excited about it. We are pumped about today's lineup. We have some phenomenal speakers lined up for you today. You are definitely in for a treat. Whether you're watching here on Zoom or whether you're joining us by Facebook Live, you are absolutely in for a treat. You are going to love today's message. We have some incredible speakers from different parts of not just Louisiana, but even the entire nation, and you are going to be amazed. So real quick, some quick housekeeping tips before we jump into today's Emixer. We're gonna go ahead and mute all the lines. So everybody's line should be muted, and that's just out of respect for the speakers. So as the speakers are presenting, we don't want to be distracting. We don't want to interrupt them. We want to make sure that everybody is able to engage and fully participate in the Emixer today and hear what's being presented. Now, at the same time, I would like to call everyone's attention to the chat feature. So for those of you who are on the Zoom with us, you do have the chat feature on your computer, on your monitor. If you don't see it, you can just kind of hover over the screen, or the center screen there, and that chat feature should pop up. That chat feature is going to be so important for us today and going forward, because that's where we're going to be able to connect. Ordinarily, in an Emixer, it's a live event, and we're naturally able to exchange business cards. But in a Zoom, we can't exchange business cards. So we're going to utilize the chat feature. If you click on that chat feature, a little pane should pop up on the right-hand side of your screen, allowing you to chat. If you're on your phone, I'm not really sure exactly where it appears, but you should be able to see it. And then you should have some options at the bottom of that chat pane. And it should say something to the effect of to, semicolon, and then you have a drop-down arrow where you can either select everyone or you can select individuals. What I want you to do, because we want to grow our community, we want entrepreneurs to be able to network with each other. That's one of the purposes of what we do here. And so what I want you to do throughout the presentations tonight is I want you to utilize that feature and connect. Feel free to connect with the individuals one-off. Feel free to shoot them a message and say, hey, so-and-so, this is Dom. So great to connect with you. Here's my contact info. Here's what I do. Here's who I am. They'll exchange their information with you. If you have some kind of promotion going on or some kind of offer or something in your business with your company that you would like to share with the individuals, feel free to drop that there and people will be able to connect with you. I think that's going to be a great feature for us to utilize because, like I said, in a live event, we're able to do it. It just makes so much more sense. It flows so much more easily. The next thing that I want to do is I want to thank our sponsors. So our sponsors for the Emixer are the Empowered Nation and also 3D Extreme, which is owned by Craig Billings. So thank you, Craig, for your sponsorship in Emixer, as well as Point of Light Network and the great work that they're doing throughout the country. All around the nation, there are people who are involved in the Point of Light Network. One of the co-founders is with us this evening. That's Joseph Llewellyn, and you'll get to hear from him in just a second. But I definitely want to take the time and shine some light on our sponsors and thank you guys for everything that you do to make Emixer a great success. I also want to briefly thank our speakers. So every one of our presenters this evening, thank you so much for what you do. For those of you who are not presenting, I want you to understand what our presenters are actually doing, because it could be misconceived that the presenters are getting something out of this. What you're going to hear tonight is information that's going to benefit you and your business. Each one of our speakers comes on with you in mind. They're not coming on here with some agenda. They're not coming here hoping to get you to buy something from them. Their whole focus in presenting to you is to help your business move forward. And so I want to thank them, because they don't have to do that. They don't have to do it. There's really no agenda in it for them. So they're just doing it to be generous, and I really appreciate them for that. And I hope that you guys take the time out to thank each one of them in the chat for what they're doing for our community as well. Now, like I said, you're going to absolutely be blown away by the content that you're going to hear. And so without further ado, I want to go ahead and get right into it, because I'm watching the time and I see that it is moving quickly. So I want to make sure that I don't take up too much time from our speakers. Miss Arly is actually joining us with her co-host today. It's going to be Marcus. Marcus is there in the New Orleans area, and Arly is in the Baton Rouge, Louisiana area. And she is an expert in all things financial. So she spends all of her time and energy focusing on building and protecting wealth. That's why I invited her to be one of the speakers. That's why I invited her to be part of the Emixer community, because as entrepreneurs, we are the backbone, whether you like it or not. You signed up for this thing. We are the backbone of this economy. Without us, we create jobs, we create opportunities, we create products, we create services. Without us, the economy crumbles. And if you haven't realized that by now, it's time that you do. So what you do as an entrepreneur is very important. It's very critical to the economy of not just our communities and our cities, but of the entire nation. And so what Arly brings to the table is the ability for us to learn how to build our wealth and protect our wealth, because as you're gaining wealth as an entrepreneur, it's going to be critical that you're protecting it so that you're not just losing it, so that it sustains for a long time, not just your lifetime, but we're talking about generations after you. And that's what Arly brings to the table. That's what she is so educated on and so professional about. I really love Arly. I'm so glad that she's part of the team here. And so without further ado, Miss Arly and Marcus, you guys take it away.
Hey, Dominique, how are you? How's everybody doing? Wonderful. Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be back here on this panel. Amazing information. Thanks for sharing, Mr. Llewellyn. I learned a lot about the power of network, and I completely agree with you. And as entrepreneurs, just like Dom says, it's very important that we learn the art of money. Right? Because we know eventually what will happen, we will build that wealth, and we plan to build that wealth, which is most likely the reason why we started to become entrepreneurs in the first place. And so one thing I realized over my journey of learning about finance and money as a whole is very important to learn about the most basic concepts that we can actually apply and start making things happen for ourselves. So last time on our call, I shared some of the concepts, and I just want to kind of dive deep into one of the concepts. And for interest of time, I don't have any slides that I'll be sharing, but I just want to touch up on one of the very important resources that I like to share, even with my community that I share with. But I want to send a reminder for those of you on the call last time. Do you guys remember this? Can you see my screen? Yes. Okay. So this is one of the concepts I want to just dive deep into, which is the wealth formula, right? We talk about you cannot do anything without, a clear path, right? We talk about building wealth. That's a great thing. Everybody wants to build wealth, but how do you build wealth? Right? We talk about having money, which we know how to make money, no problem with that. But how do you leverage time to your advantage when it comes to building wealth? How about your rate of return? Where are you putting your money to make sure that money is really growing and working for you? And at the same time, considering the two key important things, which is inflation and taxes, which is what takes away at our money, right? So if you can take all those factors and components, what you have left is your wealth. So I want to kind of go over the two most important things to me, which is inflation and tax, that I think most people might be aware of, maybe sometimes overlooked, which is, I know inflation is, but most of us as entrepreneurs, we do worry about, taxes. And we know that, one thing that Benjamin Franklin said himself is that the two most certain things in our life in this world is debt and taxes, right? So when you make money, of course, people, they will tax you. When you spend money, you get taxed. When you save money, you get taxed. And when you die, they still tax you. Okay, so from sales tax to income tax to property tax to estate tax and every other tax, anywhere you turn around, right? Taxes is awaiting you. So how can you find ways to reduce on your taxable income and ways to shield your wealth, as we talk about, from taxes and also inflation? And some people actually refer to inflation as a hidden tax. Well, we know that in the last 100 years, from 1917 to 2017, the U.S. inflation rate has averaged about 2.99%. You look at the average cost of living from back in the 70s to now, cost of living is consistently increasing, but is our wages, our money keeping up with that increase? Right? And most likely it's not the case. So how can we make sure that, we make sure that we apply the wealth formula to beat inflation and also tax? So there's a lot that goes into that. And one bit of good news though is that, currently the US federal income tax rate is rather lower compared to back in the past. I know back in, I think it's 1944, where the tax bracket was about 94%. Imagine living in that era, right? And I think at one point it was a 70% in the era of Reagan. So today we could say that it has lowered over time, but we don't know what might happen of tomorrow. So currently, with what's happening with COVID-19 and how people are being in taxes left and right, impacted with unemployment and things that we know will affect us in the future. The taxing issue is very important. And so when you're doing investment savings, are you actually considering the tax impact on your money? What is your current tax rate? What will the tax rate be in the future? Will your tax rate rise, or do you think they will fall? And either way, are you prepared for it? So we know there's a shrinking Social Security tax base right now. Okay, and the number continues to decline, because back when people would consider, 40 people working to contribute to about three people retirement account, versus today where maybe 3 people working to contribute to one person's account, right? So it's not, the ratio has reduced. And you look at what just happened with the unemployment, 22 million people filing for unemployment. So those are things that, again, will impact our taxes over time. And so today, based on where you put your money as entrepreneurs, we know we're mostly our own source of retirement funding. Is that correct? So we know that we have to make sure we account a lot on what the taxes we do on our money. So I just want to share quickly a small resource, a very powerful resource that you can probably leverage to also go over some of these issues that we talk about that we consider. Can you see my screen? Trying to move it here.
Yep.
Technology, okay, wonderful. So we talk about tax. Where do you put your money? Well, where does your money go? Let's take a look at the tax treatment. What are the different types of investment accounts? So right now, based on where you save or invest your money, is it being taxed now? Is it taxed later? Or does it give you tax advantage, right? And you can think of it as terms of, Am I being taxed on my seed? Will I be taxed on my harvest based on how I invest and where I contribute my money? So we can see the different vehicles here laid out in the 3 buckets. Does that make sense? So where is your money being invested? Of course, each bucket here has a different purpose, right? So anything you put in here, you understand that it's being taxable at this moment, right? Every year. Here, you're deferring your taxes. And in these buckets, like your Roth IRA and et cetera, health savings account, life insurance, long-term, everything that you're gaining in this account will be tax advantage, so tax-free. So the question becomes, do I want to get taxed today or do I want to get taxed later? Right? What would be your answer? Is it taxable now or taxable later? Which one is important? It comes down to you. And it's a perfect simple example here of 2 people, one being taxed later and one being tax advantage, which means I choose to pay taxes now so that later on I don't have to incur that tax, right? I choose to wait to pay tax, right? And when it's time for me to use this money, I will have to pay tax on it, right? So what is the return? If I'm 29, I have 10,000 I'm investing currently, I can invest it and save it over time. If I'm earning about 8%, using the rule of 72 we talked about last time, every 9 years I can expect to double my money. If I'm B, I want to pay my taxes ahead, so I'm putting 7,500 in here, and I can expect the same amount of double, but I know that my money will never get taxed, right? So how does tax impact your money based on where you save your money? Right? So according to this example, very simple. Your tax rate, if it's 25% today, when it's time to retire at 65, assuming that's the retirement age, some people retire early, some people later on. If you have accumulated 160,000, you still get taxed 25%. That's a return of 120,000, right? If you're A and B, you still have your 120,000. You already pay tax on it, so you get it out tax-free. So you're equal. But do we know what tax bracket we will be in 20 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 5 years from now? Will it be higher? Will it be lower? We don't know. So that's why it's so important to prepare with that in mind. Do you know what your tax bracket will be when it's time for you to take advantage of the money you've invested? So I just wanted to cover a few basic concepts. I want Marcus to share a little bit about how these implication of tax and inflation, also is very important as us as entrepreneurs, but really everybody when it comes to building wealth. Okay, and I'll stop sharing so he can share.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Okay, good. Good to see everyone here. Thank you for Dom for letting me get on the call today. This is my first time here. Okay, so again, my name is Marcus Harris, and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. My original background is military. So I spent 11 years in the Navy doing civil engineering, and then transitioned to commercial real estate. And then from that standpoint, today, I love financial education. So what Arlene shared about, I think, is extremely important because as entrepreneurs, the thing we love most is freedom, right? We love freedom and the ability to control our future. That's why we work every day and work hard to build our brands and build our businesses. But, a lot of businesses struggle a lot today because of personal finance. Because not being able to manage the personal funds that is needed to keep the business going. So the information that Arlene shared today, I think is extremely valuable because we want to be able to manage our money better to be able to make it work better for us, so we can continue to outsource our funds to continue to bring more business in. So something that people forget about a lot is that particular topic is taxes. So we love to work and make money. But the question I always ask people, when you make all the money you're going to make, regardless of how you're going to make it, how you're going to avoid taxes, right? Where you're going to put it at to protect everything that you build, right? And that's something that's very, very important. And I think everybody should know, regardless if you're an entrepreneur or not. I just think everybody should understand those key principles. And it helped me out a lot. Before I came here, I had a lot of assets, and I had a lot of money saved and no debt at all. But just understanding some of those key principles like that, help me plan better. you know, and it's different between, you know, becoming successful and becoming successful by design, right? Understanding the plan and really know step by step on how to get from point A to point B. That's the difference. So originally, before I come here, I built everything by mistake. You know, it just happened for me. You know, I just know I need something. I work really hard. I used to work roughly about 90 hours a week, you know. So I'm a hustler, you know, which most of us on here is. But it's different when you work hard by design and you start to understand the principles that is needed in order to build a financial foundation. So that's all I kind of wanted to share. I don't want to share a whole lot of information, but the book that she had, they have a lot of key principles regarding things like debt management, regarding things in terms of avoiding taxes, retirement, and so many other things that dealing with the financial industry. That, and as entrepreneur, finance is a major part of what we deal with day in and day out. So one part is building the brand and networking. Another part is managing, you know, once we bring our business in. Okay, so thank you for allowing me to share.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. That was phenomenal. Thank you, Arly. Always a great job there as well. Super educated. I want you guys to make sure you are sending them private messages in the chat off to the side. Get their names, get their numbers, exchange contact info, because this area, this topic of finances is so important. We can a lot of times think that we have it together, or even sometimes we pretend. We want to put on a facade. We want to put on this face that we have it together, when in reality we don't. We don't know what's going on with our money. We don't really understand how it's working for us, how we can make it work better for us, how we can multiply it faster, how we can protect it better. We don't really know these things. We don't have the answers. And I'm telling you guys, I brought Arly and her team here for that specific reason, to make sure that as you guys are building wealth as entrepreneurs, you're not losing it just as quickly, or if not quicker. I want to make sure that you're in this thing for the long haul. And like Marcus was talking about, Marcus, I think that's a great point that you said. A lot of entrepreneurs suffer because their personal finances are what's being used to really get things ramped up. And if your personal finances are having some challenges, then obviously that's going to affect your business. And we can't afford that. We as the community, we as the nation can't afford for you as the entrepreneur to have your business fail. So I want you to make sure you connect with these individuals. Again, off to the side in the chat, connect with them, share your name, your information. They're going to do the same with you. But find some time to link up with these guys. Marcus, real quick too, before I forget, I want to say thank you so much for your service. There in the Navy. I didn't realize that about you. So I learned something new about you here tonight. Thank you so much for your service. We do appreciate that. Also, I did want to comment on Arly's points. Took some great notes again. Look, guys, if you are not getting something out of this Emixer tonight, you must have fallen asleep. Wake up, get excited, because there's some great information being shared here, and it is free, absolutely free of charge to you. No hidden agenda, no motives, nothing. So make sure you're excited. Make sure your expectation is up here. Take some great notes. Arly talked about beating inflation. Beating inflation. That's amazing. And taxes. So you have to be prepared. If you're not prepared, if you don't have a plan, you will not beat inflation. So obviously we're going to go ahead and reverse that. Inflation will beat you. Okay. So if that isn't a wake up call for you, don't get beat by inflation. Beat inflation, get prepared, get a strategy, get a plan in place to make sure that you're ahead. And Arly said about taxing my seed or taxing my harvest. Man, that was powerful. Love it, guys. Thank you so much for the share. So this thing is just getting built up more and more and more. I hope you guys can feel it. I hope you can sense it, because we are moving on to our next speaker, who is, of course, again, no stranger to the microphone. This is amazing, guys. I hope you are as excited as I am. I doubt it. I doubt you're just as excited. I believe that I'm the most excited in this room. I hope I'm not, but I know that I am loving every second of this. And to help wrap everything up, I have my good friend on with us today, Mr. Brockwell Bone, Mr. B in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He is a phenomenal marketing expert. He also does real estate, but he really specializes in marketing, the marketing strategy. What do you need to do for your business? What kind of branding do you need for your business? These are the types of things that he does, which is why I wanted him to be part of the Emixer community. What entrepreneur is not interested in marketing strategies and techniques? What entrepreneur is not interested in branding strategies and techniques? So here it is. We have an expert on the call with us this evening, and I'm going to let him go ahead and share with us for the rest of the call tonight exactly what are some tips that we can take away when it comes to marketing and branding. Mr. B, the floor is yours.
Awesome. I am trying to share my screen here. Can y'all see the slideshow?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Happy to be here, guys. This is my second time speaking at the Emixer. And Dom, I don't think you're the most excited person here, but you're certainly an inspiration to the rest of us because there's a lot of good stuff going on here tonight. So I appreciate you bringing the group together and having phenomenal speakers come together. And with that, I know that we're running short on time. I'm looking over at my clock here. We're at 7:11. So I'm going to try and be as quick as possible, but I do tend to kind of go on and on from time to time. So if you need to text me and tell me, hey, 2-minute warning, please feel free to do that, Dom. So we're going to talk a little bit today about rebooting after COVID. And really, this is not anything you haven't heard before. It's just all put together in one package that I think you're going to benefit from as a business owner. So a little bit about me. I'm Mr. B, marketing coach here in Baton Rouge. For the last 20 years, I have helped small businesses and ministries with their marketing needs. Normally, I say a lot more here, but I'm just going to kind of skip ahead. I have a question for you. Has marketing changed in the last 20 years? Now, normally I'm in a room full of people and I ask them to raise their hand for yes, raise their hand for no. Everybody kind of think about your answer. Has marketing changed in the last 20 years? The answer is no, not exactly. Marketing has been the same for the last 20 years. You have what's called the marketing triangle. Now, I will say that the marketing triangle is not the intellectual property of Aptus Marketing. It came from a guy named Dan Kennedy, and he doesn't even remember where he learned it from, and he's been marketing since the 1970s. So the marketing triangle has market, message, and media. Now, today we're going to talk just a little bit about media. Now, that part of the marketing triangle has changed, but the fundamentals of marketing, market, message, and media have never, ever changed. So we're just going to cover what we call the core three here at Aptus. And the first one is website. Okay, Dom shared that I'm also in real estate. I am a licensed real estate agent with Mike Walker and Associates. Over to the right, you're going to see the homepage of my website as a realtor. And you have to remember, with your website, it is the hub of all your marketing activities. Think about it. Your business card has your website address. Your Facebook links back to it. Your LinkedIn links back to it. Your emails link back to it. Everything directs everyone to your website. So it is the hub. It is a very critical component in promoting your business. It is there 24/7 to act as a salesperson. On your homepage, you need to visually, and I mean instantly, visually communicate what you do. If you look here, you can see there's a house, boom, right there. You know when you've come to this website that you're looking at something that has to do with a house. And if you're searching for a real estate agent or anything that has to do with a house, you feel like you're in the right place instantly. You're not going to back out, which happens a lot. You need to have some sort of call to action. Now, I don't know if you can read it, but here in the header, it says, get your free how to buy a house roadmap now. That is a call to action saying, hey, I want to give you something. This is how you get it. They click there. They give us a little bit of information, which moves from, hey, I'm browsing at your website, to instant lead generation, okay? So the question is, well, in addition to that, sorry, I'm skipping ahead because I'm nervous about the time. You have to measure your website. Now, Google Analytics can easily plug into every website that's out there. You need to know how many people are coming to your website and where they're coming from, so you know which other medias are directing people in. Are they searching Are they coming through Facebook and social media? Are they clicking on your emails? Things of that nature. How do you get started? That depends. Where do you move forward? That depends. Where are you now? Do you have a website? If not, Google will allow you through Google Business to develop a free website on your own, kind of a drag and drop, do it on your own. If you already have a do-it-yourself kind of website through GoDaddy, through Google, Squarespace, things of that nature, and you're ready to move up, you call someone like Aptus Marketing, where we can come in and build you a website that has all the critical components on it and that clearly communicates what you have to offer. If you're already at that spot and you're moving to like a multi-million dollars worth of revenue every year, it's time to bring all of that in-house and have an in-house marketing team. Let's move to the second media that we're going to talk about today, and that is social media. So here's the Aptus Marketing Facebook page. Business versus personal. Okay, guys. There's still several business owners out there that push their business through their personal Facebook page. And while more people see that, you're annoying your friends and family. And I'm being straight with you. You're annoying your friends and family. Share every once in a while from maybe your business page. Throw it onto your personal profile if it has a wide spectrum of interest, okay? If you're talking about the analytics and how social traffic to a website, my personal people are not going to want to see that. They want to see pictures of my granddaughter. They want to see the steak dinner I had the other night or whatever people post, because I typically don't post food. Go out there and get you a business Facebook page, okay? Call to action. Now you'll see here toward the upper right, there's that Learn More button on this page. With that, you can do Learn More, book a call now, schedule now, things of that nature. Utilize that button, and something that you can't see on the screenshot is in the header graphic at the top of the page, it has an offer and a call to action of how to respond to that. So tell them what to do next. Once you have their attention, tell them what to do next. How do you get started? Okay, so there's tons of social media out there. You got Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, tons of them. Start with Facebook and Instagram. They're the two most simplest to get started with. If you try and do, 7 of them at a time, you're going to get totally burned out, okay? So we're going to move to the third media, email marketing, okay? So this is the third and what we call core 3. You have website, social media, and email marketing. With email marketing, it needs to be mobile friendly. Most of the platforms, MailChimp, Constant Contact, they're all mobile friendly already because most people are using their cell phones, and I'm holding up my phone if you can't see my video, to check their mail, okay? Follow your brand. If you look over on the right, you'll see an Italian restaurant we do work for. Their logo is in green. Well, we have kind of a green hue in their picture, and we're carrying it all out. Now, ignore the hours there at the bottom. This was pre-COVID when they still had dine-in. But follow your brand from your website, from your social media, and carry it into your email so people kind of feel that recognition. That's what branding is about. They feel that recognition. I've seen this before, okay? So I'm going to give you a free tool today. After we skip past measure, I'm going to give you a free tool today, MailChimp. You can email up to 2,000 emails a month, paying absolutely nothing. So stop a minute and write that down. If you're not doing email marketing, Elaine just talked about how important email marketing is. MailChimp, easy way to go. So with those core 3, you've got website, which is your hub. You've got social media, which is there for lead nurturing, lead generation, and email marketing, which is there for lead nurturing and also direct sales, okay? So on your website, people want to know who you are. Tell them about you, how you can solve their problem. It acts as a digital brochure. Again, it is a 24/7 salesperson. They could be surfing at 2 o'clock in the morning when they woke up in the middle of the night and they have a problem, right? Also, it's about engagement. Have some sort of lead magnet on there, whether it's a book a 15-minute phone call, here, get our free How to Buy a House roadmap. Here's, 3 things to generate more leads in your company, things of that nature. Email marketing. What are you going to send out? Mr. B, I don't want to just send out anything. Well, no, you send out articles, which are very, very useful. Give, and then ask, right? So give. Every month at Aptus Marketing, we send out at least one marketing tip article through email. Announcements. If you have something big happening in your business, make a big announcement about it. You're going to do that on social media, email marketing, and on your website, okay? So go cross-media with it. Also, email-only specials. My wife used to own a coffee shop. It sunk after the flood, but she would give out an email coupon, every week, $1 off this coffee or $1 off this sandwich, things of that nature. Social media. Mr. B, what do I post? I don't know what to do. Articles. Sound familiar? You're doing that with email already. So you're going to take the article, post it on your website, send it out by email, and also put it on your social media. Pictures. People love to look at pictures. Think about Luke with his flooring business, okay? So Luke has all these great floors that he's done. If he keeps putting these pictures up, somebody's going to go, hey, I like this flooring right here. And videos. Now, Facebook loves videos. Instagram as well. YouTube, that's all that it is videos, okay? So Facebook will take text from an article and it'll share it to a few of the people that are following you. And I could go into more detail, but I know we're limited on time here. They'll take a picture and they'll show it even more than articles or words. But if you have a video, Facebook will show that even more than the other two. Don't always put pushy sales stuff. Not every post on social media needs to be, hey, I sell this widget. Hey, I sell this widget. We have this widget in green. Don't do that. Again, it's the give, then ask. And use that formula. Give 3, 4, 5, 6 times, then do a salesy kind of thing. I just got the 2-minute warning. That's funny. So here's a bonus. Normally we talk just about core 3, but with COVID right now, the Google business profile is very, very important. You can claim it. The guy named Steve, who's calling probably from across the seas, that says he's going to help you set up your Google business profile, you don't need him. You can go and claim your business profile. You will see a link when you Google yourself. You'll see a link in Google business profile that says claim this listing, okay? It updates like Facebook. So Google took Google Plus, which was a horrible, I'm just saying, being real with you guys, it was a horrible social media platform. We all used it because the king Google owned it. They smashed it into Google Business, and now it is wonderful. You can do updates like Facebook. You can post videos, pictures, text. You can do offers, put up special hours, things of that nature. Most people stop at the Google business profile. This is something I recently learned in the last few months. They'll go on Google, they'll search for whatever they're searching for, the Google business listings that will come up, they'll click on one and go, huh, that's my business right there. I'm going to choose that one. They don't even go to your website anymore. They stop right there. So it's very important to have a built-out Google business profile. I have one for my marketing business. I have one as a real estate agent. Normally, I do Q&A at this time. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask, feel free to hit the chat down below here in Zoom. You can email me, brockwell@aptusmarketing.com, or you can go to aptusmarketing.com and schedule a phone call with me. So, Dom, I appreciate the time, the opportunity to share this information with people, particularly as we're starting to reboot our state next week after COVID. Again, it's things that we all know, but to have it grouped in one place, I hope that you found value out of it. And I wish everyone's business a tremendous success as we move forward.
Awesome. Awesome, Mr. B, as always. Always great information, great nuggets to share with the group, with the community. I even saw a couple of comments off to the side that other people have seen success with the Google business as well. And I didn't even know that I could go and claim my business like that. It's funny, but you know, I would have talked to Steve for a little bit and see if he could help me out. But I mean, it's just that simple. And those are the kind of nuggets, those are the kind of tips that I really love about Emixer, because in the community is where you get those types of tips, those types of little things that you didn't know before. So, you know, I'm gonna go now when we hang up, when we end this Zoom, I'm gonna be able to go to Google, search my business, and claim my business, and then next time when Steve calls me, I'll be able to just hang up on him instead of entertaining him for 15 minutes or so. But it's great tips like these, Mr. B. Always great tips, great marketing tips, great advice. We really appreciate it. I know it's not nearly enough time to get it all in, but I know people are going to be reaching out to you. Make sure you contact Mr. B there in the chats off to the side, exchange some contact information so that way you guys can connect. And he has a wealth of information and knowledge regarding marketing and branding that I know will be a tremendous help, a tremendous blessing to you and your business. So with that, guys, that wraps up our Emixer for this evening. Thank you so much once again for joining us. Thank you again to our sponsors, the Empowered Nation. Thank you so much. 3D Extreme, thank you. And Point of Light Network, thank you all so much for helping to make the Emixer another great success. I know you got a lot of great information out of it. I know that it added so much value to you. Our speakers were absolutely phenomenal. They rocked it. Make sure you're putting the comments off to the side that the speakers were phenomenal. Let them know how much you appreciate them. Show them some love. They all did a great job, knocked it out of the park. So thank you once again for coming on and being a part of it and making this a great success. Until next time, guys, thank you so much, and be looking for more information on Emixer coming to you soon. Have a great night and God bless. Bye.